Hi, Hite here. Welcome back to my basics tutorials. I'm going to talk about a couple of various things that normally people don't cover in their tutorials, which includes this sidebar here, and this right here, okay, this little block, as well as some of the top menu here, just to keep our video fairly short. So this right here is your selection tool. If you have this tool selected, it's nothing more than selecting your shape. This tool is the lasso tool. You can select multiple objects in a crazy pattern. And this right here is the paint tool. You can go solid brush, radius 201, and then you can paint stuff onto a primitive, but I don't have anything to paint. No good painting. This right here is the move tool. Oh, come on. There we go. So you can move left and right, all axis, X, Y, and Z. You could also use and this right here is the rotate. On all axis you got X, Y, and Z. Alright. This right here is a scale tool. Change your size of your cube. This right here is what is referred to as a universal manipulator. It can be used to rotate on one edge loop, same here on one edge, as well as here, one edge, as well as moving the object. You can move your object back and forth, and you can alternatively scale your object. Now here, soft modification tool. Oh man. Go down. There we go. For some reason it doesn't actually, oh, there it goes. Yeah, there we go. It doesn't really affect mine too much. I don't know why. My settings, most likely my fall off settings here. But what it does is pulls a area, if that makes sense. Good for making weird shapes. Then you have, why did it do that? You have your manipulator tool. That's the little thing here. And then whatever tool that you last selected at the bottom here. So polygon, I can create more polygons just by clicking this little button here. This right here, single perspective view. Obviously we're in the same view here. Spacebar does the same thing. No, get off of that. Whatever. So spacebar does the same thing. Normal settings. And it activates this here. This right here is your perspective and outliner. Shows you what you have in your scene. I have soft mod handlers, cubes. So if I were to delete my handlers here, cubes would go back to normal. If I were to delete all my cubes would go back to normal. And then of course I got my object set, my default light set, just so you can see my objects better. And you can just get rid of that. And then we have this up here, which is what we call the shelf tool or shelf selection. You can select any of the tabs from this menu. Alternatively, you can always click their tab up here. Much easier, just click their tab up. Oh, we're going to show you that later. Much easier to click their tab up here. Alternatively, you can add new shelves. We can name this custom shelf. And leave off the space. Shelf. So your custom shelf is all the way at the end here. And to add things to the shelf, you can just, if I remember right, Alt or Control double click or Alt double click. I can't remember. Mine just doesn't do it right for some reason. But you can go to your shelf editor here and select the shelf that you want, and you can always add contents into the shelf like this through the new deal here. Move it up and down, delete it, so forth. When I go more in depth on the shelf, I will give you the hotkey for adding effects and tools into the shelf. Just don't remember the hotkey off the top of my head. As you can see, I made a couple custom shelves. I don't know where all my tools went for this one, so I'll just delete this one. Yeah, we'll delete that. We'll delete the custom shelf as well. Now we have up here hierarchy combinations. You can select by either the template or the leaf combination. You can click this here and have what is this one? Handle, joint. So these are different objects for selecting. They're all labeled or tags you can put on things. You can unlock and lock the current selection. You can change your highlight modes, snap to grids. You can enable snapping to grids, so what will happen is, what did I do? Okay, so what will happen is when you move something, it's not going to move freely, it's going to snap to each point on the grid. There's also snapping to curves. If there was a curve, let's make us a curve. Oops, I just want to get a free curve going. Okay, so if there was a curve, let me snap to curves. Yeah, it would snap to the curve, and we could move it only along the curve outlines. Makes it good for putting, like say you want a cylinder. And just to rotate for effect here. And we'll put that on the line here. Snap it to the grid. Come on, snap there, snap there. Don't know why she's not doing it. Anyway, you could take this right here, and oh god, for some reason it just doesn't want to snap. Usually it snaps to the outline though, and you can drag it around, but it's not doing that. Then you have snap to points. You can make points and snap them to them. You have snap to view planes, and then what's this? Come on. And then make selected object live. So pretty much removing all the extra snapping that you have. You have your rendering. I skipped these tools. Selected inputs, you'll probably never use those, and selected outputs, you'll probably never use those. And this is your construction history, so if you were to change something, it would reflect in your hierarchy history panel, but you can always disable that through preferences as well. You have render views, so you can render things. This is a whole nother tutorial, but you can take like a screenshot, basically. Render current frame, so whatever frame you're on in your animation. You have the IPR rendering frame, and then I think this one's called display rendering. Come on, yeah, display rendering setting. I'm trying to tell you guys accurate stuff's terminology, that way you don't get confused. My terminology is completely different. I know this as render, I know this as do something crazy. Same with all the other stuff. So this is your absolute transform. This will put X, Y, and Z at an absolute number for whatever tool that you have selected. So say you have this selected and you want to move it an absolute number of 7. Okay, you can type in 7 and it'll go to an absolute of a 7 variable. For all your math guys, will understand this one better. Right here we have create a new scene. So I can create a new scene. I can open a scene that I've already done, and I can simply save by a click of a button. Right here you have your top bar selector. I don't know how Windows it looks exactly, but you can select animations, polygon surfaces, dynamics rendering, and dynamics custom, and custom will show up with whatever you've customized. That's also for another tutorial. So we've covered the sidebar for the most part. We've covered this top menu all the way up until these last 3, which I'll go into depth later on about. There we go. Got my default. There we go. Okay, so that would about wrap it up for this tutorial. Thanks for watching.